Now, Trump and the Patriots, they have been going after the central bank since Trump came into office. He started to point out the Federal Reserve. He told everyone that they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea how to lead this economy. They are a follower, not a leader. And through this event, Trump was able to do something that normally couldn't be done. And we've been following this. And what is the Fed doing right now? It is now taken on everything. Zero rates, full stimulus. What is happening right now? We are now witnessing a restructuring. Trump has used this crisis to get the Fed positioned to exactly where he needs it to be to restructure the entire thing. He's going to bring it into the Treasury. And what else has he done here? He now has Congress looking at the supply chains. They're all on board. And they're starting to realize that what they had in place before was not a good idea. He used this event to his advantage to show Congress, businesses, the people of the U.S., the people of the world, why the globalist system, the central bank globalist system, is not a system for the people, that it breaks down. Take a listen to what Kevin McCarthy says.
I hope that one thing that we'll seriously look at as a Congress, the supply chain. Something the president has talked about quite some time, but people did not realize. As we're working trying to get the PPEs for the hospital, China controls too much of our supply chain. Congress has too much control of the ingredients that will go into our medicines, too much control of our medical equipment, too much control of our critical minerals.
And from what he is saying, you can see that they are now making preparations to change everything. It's not just the U.S., it's other countries. They're doing the same exact thing. Now, Trump knew that during this period of time, while we had this event, it was going to be very tough. Yes, he signed the stimulus package today. Remember, we're under a national emergency. Yes, I know there's a lot in this bill. It should have been about 5-10 pages where they're saying, okay, this money goes to businesses, to the people, period, that's it. They shouldn't have had anything else in there. But I do believe that Trump was using this to expose the corrupt politicians, to expose Congress, because we're in an emergency situation, according to the mainstream media and everyone else, and they shouldn't have been putting all these things in there. Now remember, we're under a national emergency. Trump has the ability to spend this the way he sees fit. He did it with the wall, with the omnibus bill. But he, back in March, in the beginning of March, he let everyone know that we might be heading into a recession. Now, he knew he had to deflate the bubbles. He knew that the central bank system inflates bubbles, they pop, we head into a recession. He decided to control the entire thing. He deflated the bubble, and now he's in control of the system. He doesn't have to worry about the whole system popping and there's complete chaos. He has removed this from those individuals, the central bank, the bad guys, who are trying to bring the economic system down. Now, we know that they're not going to give up. But Trump understood that during this period of time, it was going to be a very difficult time. But once you know the playbook, once you know what's going to happen, you can prepare for this. He knew he was going to get the stimulus bill. He knew he was going to use this to help businesses and people so they can get through this tough time. And at the same time, he knew that he can go after the central bank. Think about what he has done in this short period of time. Now, if he didn't have this event, this would have taken him a much longer time. But now with this event, he has sped everything up like we've never seen before. And the Fed is out there. They're saying they have enough firepower to continue this no matter what. We're not going to run out of ammunition. Well, we know that ammunition doesn't last forever. We know there's a certain point that you're just going to run out and it's not going to work. Trump's counting on this. He understands that as you keep printing and printing and printing, and you keep pushing stimulus, everything comes to an end. The Fed will not be able to do anything. And this is why we see something special going on right now. The Fed will finance a special purpose vehicle to conduct certain operations. The Treasury is using the Exchange Stabilization Fund. They will make an equity investment in each of the special purpose vehicle and be in a first loss position. What does this mean? In essence, the Treasury, not the Fed, is buying all these securities and backstopping the loans. The Fed is acting as a banker and providing financing. The Fed hired BlackRock to purchase these securities and handle the administration of the SPVs on behalf of the owner, the Treasury. What does this all mean? The federal government right now is nationalizing large swaths of the financial markets. The Fed is providing the money to do it. BlackRock will be doing the trades. This means that the Fed is going to merge with the Treasury. It's going to be put into one organization. Trump right now is taking over the central bank. And all these individuals, the bad guys, mainstream media, the deep state, all of them, they can't stop this. He used this crisis to his benefit. And this is just the first stage. Remember, it's not just the Fed. It's the worldwide central bank establishment. And Trump right now is in the first stage of combining the Fed and the Treasury, nationalizing it. And Q did tell us about this. This was back April 19, 2018. And Anon, on the board, when there was a question-answer session, asked a question. Federal Reserve ending? Q answered, structure. The structure of the Federal Reserve is ending. The way we know it today, it is ending. And I do believe this is the first stage. Trump and the Patriots, they are in full control. And who's going to be the new chairman of this system? It's going to be Trump. Q posted today, and it gave us a link to Iron Belly, and it said, "Rest in peace, Federal Reserve. This is huge. This scheme essentially merges the Fed and Treasury into one organization. So meet your new Fed chairman, Donald Trump." Now, in this post, it says, this is not just another 4-year election. Trump and the Patriots have taken the first step in getting rid of the central bank system. It has now been confirmed. Other nations now are going to be moving in on their central bank establishments. Remember, Q gave us posts and it had lists of all the central banks in all the countries. This system needs to be taken down. But Trump, he needs to control what is happening here in the United States. We knew this was coming. We knew that this day was going to arrive. What's the next stage? Take control of the currency. Bring us back to sound money. Who's waiting on deck? Judy Shelton and others. Once this merges into the Treasury, and actually Judy Shelton has mentioned this, she will then, once she's on the board, she will then restructure the entire system. We are now moving in a completely different direction. Everything that we knew about the system, the way it works, it's about to change. We've said this for quite a while. We are now watching it in real time change. We will no longer live under debt. We will no longer live under a corporate central bank system. We will no longer struggle the way we've been struggling. Everything that we knew, everything that we were taught, everything that they were telling us, it's all going to change. Remember, when the central bank's establishment came into existence, everything changed for the people. In the 40s, in the 70s, in 2008, it got harder and harder for the people. The currency will no longer devalue the way it has. We will not see inflation, which really means the currency is devaluing. It takes more dollars to buy that same item. We will not see that anymore. We will not have to live on credit. We will not have to work the way we've been working and come home with nothing in our check. It's all about to change. And Anon on the boards wrote something very interesting. We have just taken the power away from the central bank establishment. This is what he wrote. Mnuchin just bankrupted the Fed, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Chase, etc. It started. The market liquidity is now controlled by Steve Mnuchin and the Treasury Department. That also means we own all central bank requests for credit for all 186 foreign nations. Folks, a power transfer just went down. The world just went from asking the Rothschilds for credit swaps to asking Steve Mnuchin and the U.S. Treasury for credit swaps. Boom. We have just seen it happen. This is not about a 4-year election. This is about a new way of life.